Всем привет, с вами Инна. Hi everybody, Inna is here. And we will start class 4 now. I will share my screen. Bill is flying the airplane today, so he sends you all his best wishes, and he will join some other class. So class 4 is about who are authentic students and what is the authentic Dharma. And I would like to start with a short investigation or motivation. We did already 3 classes with you, and traditionally, at the beginning of each class, there was a special prayer or special request.
Au début de chaque classe, il y avait une classe.
We have Lucy talking because she is not a translator yet. So let's take a look. Technical team. I think there is already another translator. Sorry for this technical moment. Okay, so traditionally in the beginning of the classes, people would do prayers, and I think it is important to know why they were doing prayers, because we decided we will not do it not to make people scared with Bill, me and Bill. But traditionally, there should be a prayer, and you will see in the homeworks to these classes that there is a task to learn it. And I would like to say why it is important. I would like to say why it is important, and it is because we have our mental bank account with great seeds, and this is why you came here and you are listening or translating or helping to these classes, to get these classes running. And basically it means that you had to do a lot of goodness, a lot of good deeds in the past. So you can thank this person who did it, and here you are. And you are exceptional people, because not many people spend their weekends the way you spend listening to these classes. It means that you're already a good person, and it means that you want to become even a better person. And this is truly exceptional on this planet. It means that you came to learn how to become even better person. And the prayers in the beginning of the class, they are specifically addressing this issue that we have planted a lot of good seeds to come here. And now, like, our bank account, it's like, I don't know, I would go to Las Vegas, which we did last month with my husband. And of course, we are not players, and we are not interested in all these countless slot machines and, tables to play, to lose all your money. But it is very similar. Like you are here, and your positive mental bank account is going like that. like every minute here is very expensive. So there is something that needs to be done to avoid this decreasing in your bank account. And it is a couple thoughts that you can have, you can think about something really good in the beginning of the class. And I suggest to do it right now. So close your eyes, sit straight. You can do some exhales and inhales. And in our tradition, we start always with exhale, because exhale symbolizes death. And we want to finish with life. So inhale symbolizes life. So we start with exhale and then inhale, that will be one. And let's do several exhales and inhales. And now think about your life, where you are in your life. Think about important things in your life for you. Who are important people for you? We always have 2, 3, 4, the most important people for us. What you want to accomplish in your life. What pushed you to come to ACI classes? Maybe you have questions. Maybe you notice that the reality does not work like you would expect it to work. Maybe you underwent some painful, tragic events in your past. Maybe you are worried because of ongoing wars or political situations in the countries. What is your biggest driver? Please find the most profound reason you can think about driving you to attend these classes. and think that if you will be able to get it resolved with these teachings, then you can help other people to do the same. How great it would be to see everybody else happy. Go back to your breath. Open your eyes. That was my equivalent of the prayer. And so today's class is actually very fun because where we are in the middle, almost in the middle. By the end of the day, we will be exactly in the middle of ACI 1. And this is the review, preview course for all 18 ACI courses. We already talked about the book that is being studied in this course, Lam Tso Nam Sum, Three Principal Paths. We were talking about the author and commentator and the author of the introduction into this book, we talked about why it is important to study it, because it contains all the teachings in these 14 verses, and it is really true. If you will spend some time in these teachings and you will go really deep, then you will see it is true. It's all there. And we were talking about what you can expect from walking this path. We were talking about the fact that there were people who successfully did it, who accomplished their goals with this path. We were talking about who can teach you. And I think I should address it because I received several questions and comments, especially from people who know me already for a while, and they were saying like, why are you talking about McMichael? Does it mean that we should stop ACI 1 with you and go and study with McMichael? I mean, anybody can find any teacher, but in our lineage, it is kind of a tradition. We do not talk as much about us. I don't know, because first, it will be probably bragging. And second, because when you get to the point when you start teaching these classes, I think naturally you are becoming grateful to your teachers, and you really can appreciate that they really have these 10 qualities. And it is natural. So this is, you can think about it as our lineage tradition. And also you can use your logic, right? This is why we give all these qualities of the teachers, including you can compare ourselves to these qualities and then decide if we are good teachers or not. I think this is a very sincere answer. Because Bill is not here, I can talk about him, and I think he is a really great teacher. And a great practitioner. So we finished with the qualities, and this class is about how you can assess if the teaching is right, because you are given your precious mental space. It is the most precious thing you have. You are giving it, you expose it to somebody to teach you something. So you need to be sure that you're not picking just what is available, but that you can thoroughly check it, that it is really what will work for you. And McMichael, very interesting. He starts the class. I remember I was listening to it. He decides to do it in traditional Tibetan way. So he just reads Tibetan books and translates it into English. And the quote for today's class, I think, is really important. So I will read it in Tibetan, and you can try to repeat it because there is a special blessing in repeating these words. They were written by very special beings, and even having these words in your mind, like repeating them, does something good to our mind. I mean, okay, one more story before we will start. Several years ago, I started to attend McMichael's translators classes. And when I was a child, I was really smart. I had a great memory. I didn't need to study much. I could just listen once to something and I would know it by heart right away. Then I lost my capacity to memorize that great because I think this is my logic that I applied here. I think because I was not really studying what was great, what would be what would make sense to study. I was putting in my mind all kinds of strange things, and then my memory degenerated. And I was thinking, yeah, okay, I lost it forever. And I think it was about 4 years ago, I started to attend this translators classes with McMichael and listen to these books written by these extraordinary beings like Jetsun Kappa and Pabonka Rinpoche. And I started to notice that something happens to my mind, that my memory goes back, and I start to understand things that were really not clear at all to me, including in decisions. There are very tiny points, very confusing, and many times you have an impression that your mind just touches it a little bit, like you understand a little bit and then it goes back, like it goes this way, all and over and over again. So, and I really noticed that I'm making a lot of progress. Very deep things started to become really clear to me. It is because when you repeat in your mind and you listen to these lines, it doesn't matter in which language, even translated words of this special, in a good way, special beings, extraordinary beings, it does something to your mental capacities and to your memory. So this is why I suggest to repeat the Tibetan words I will be pronouncing just for good luck, as a blessing. So what we study, and this is Nyam Su. You can repeat Nyam Su, Lenje Chu. Nyam Su is which you, Lenje is can practice, and Chu is a word for Dharma or teachings. So, and what we just said is Dharma which is worth studying. So, and when you will hear three qualities of this Dharma, you will understand that 99% probably of what you can hear drops out automatically. Or maybe not 99, maybe 90, 95, but most. In ancient scriptures, they say that also in Tibetan, it is like Chukun Mela Loton Du Drupa Jekyan. Chukun Mela, you can repeat, Loton Du Drupa Jekyan. And Chu is Dharma, Kun is like primary source, Me is no, La is an article like to, toward, Lo is year, like you know probably Losar, New Year in Tibetan. Ton is 1,000. Tu is also an article like particle, like direction, for or to. Trupa is practice, and Jekyan, to, but. So this was the first part. I know it is weird to pronounce these words. I remember I was irritated when I was studying it, but actually it does plant great seed in your mind. So let's do the second part, and then I will tell you what it means. Tokpa, realization in Tibetan. Zenden, Zenden is correct, authentic. Nechik, sliver, one, like a piece, one piece. Mi kie, mi is also like a negative particle, not, and kie, develop, to give birth, same word. What does it mean? All this, I will say it once in Tibetan and then give translation. Chukun, Mela, Loton, Du, Trupa, Chekyan, Tokpa, Zenden, Nechik, Mikye. It means that you can practice for 1,000 years something that is not authentic teaching, and you will not develop even one piece of authentic realization, even one real realization. And realization is something that you realize on this path, and that brings you higher, and basically it means that you are progressing, you are making progress on this path. So if this is not real thing, authentic, then you can practice it for 1,000 years. Don't worry, nothing will happen. So that's a strange thing, right? And then we have a problem. We need to find out what is authentic, what is not. I mean, somebody can claim it is authentic, right? And this is when we come to these three qualities. Let's go back to the slides. So quality number one, these teachings should be taught by an extraordinary being, an omniscient being. In this tradition, they are called Buddhas. In other tradition, I believe these beings were not called Buddhas. They could be called angels or somebody like, but you know already the difference, right? So this being should be omniscient, and they should have the body of light. If somebody has these two, then it's okay to get the teachings from them, And just for good luck, as a blessing, please repeat Tibetan. Sangyeki Sumpa. Sangye ki Sunpa. Sangye is the word for Buddhas. Ki is a article that defines the like by whom, by the Buddha, Sangye ki. And Sungpa is teaching, taught. Sun is the speech of Buddhas usually. Okay, that's the first quality. It had to be taught by a Buddha. Already, most of the teachings do not come to this category. And this is not enough, because we have the second quality, second characteristic of an authentic teaching. Pandite ten la pappa. And pap is the word to like clean away. And pandita, probably you know, pandita is comes from Sanskrit, a teacher. So teachers of the lineage, they had to think about like sages, people who have extraordinary capacities, who have realizations, who can meditate really well. So the teaching had to be cleaned from any errors, because with the time, I don't know if you knew about it, but Tibetan monks who were carving these teachings on the wooden block, because these teachings, they were printed based on wooden blocks. Like you would have one piece of wood and they would carve letters. The letters are carved backwards, like, how to say, in the mirror representation, like reflection in the mirror. And monks carving these teachings, they were usually not educated. They didn't know how to read, because reading was a great skill even in almost any country, even 100 years ago. Not talking about 200, 500, 1000. Many people couldn't read. So they could carve, but they couldn't read. And there could be errors because of this. And if you follow McMichael translator classes called Schwanz Tower nowadays, you can see him correcting these mistakes, like obvious mistakes that he is capable of detecting in Tibetan. This is one way how to errors can get into the teachings. There is another way. People being people, they tend to introduce their own ideas into teachings. For example, Yoga Sutra chapter 4 is famous for having these weird ideas into it that we think that it was introduced by further generations, not by the author. So it is important to for a person who have some realizations, who is knowledgeable and is able to detect errors. It is important to look through this teaching and find if there are any errors. Another reason why there may be errors, because also related to the fact that people can introduce, future generations could introduce their stuff, their own thinking, is that everything that was taught by the Buddha originally was quite short. Like there are sutras that are long, but usually the teaching would be quite short, and it was totally understandable by his disciples. It was tailored for them, but in couple hundred years, the meaning would get lost, and because the words would look like coded, you know, people would make up things. They would try to find the meaning, but they would not have realizations that would be enough to support their understanding. So they would give some other interpretation. A famous example is there was a famous meditator in our lineage, Master Kamalashila. You will hear this word, this name probably 1,000 of times, because he is the one who left the most clear explanations on meditations, how to meditate, and what should be the subject of meditation. And he was writing about emptiness. He had his students, and back in these days, there was a tradition to arrange big debates. Like imagine there are two big masters from two great monasteries that are not that do not agree in something between them, and there was a famous debate between Master Kamalashila and a monk named Woshan, who also had a lot of followers. The debates were in front of the king, so everybody would listen and would witness the debates. And what he was saying, this Master Woshan, was that emptiness is, you know, when you close your eyes and you see darkness, and that's emptiness. And of course, it's not. Emptiness is absence of self-existence of this thing, and of my mind, of my body. Emptiness means that I don't have to be the way I am. I could be somebody else, right? Because I'm coming from my previous seeds, from what I think, what I say, and what I do, and there is no other nature. So Master Kamalashila won the debates. And by the tradition, all the followers of the person who lost the debates had to become followers of the master who won the debates. Not many people were happy with that, and Master Kamalashila was killed after these debates. So many people, they really dedicated their lives for you, basically, because you are starting this new generation in this lineage, and you will be teaching yourself, and you will appreciate things that they have done for us. So first was that the teaching was had to come from an extraordinary being who is omniscient, and the second, it should be cleaned of any errors, brought to its authentic form, and examined to determine whether any wrong ideas could sneak into these teachings after the Buddha taught it. And there is a third characteristic, and you probably could already think about it, right? That a teaching that is correct should work, right? In Tibetan, it is Drupe Tukyu La Trun Tan Rimki Gyupa. So the teaching should bring true realizations to the hearts of practitioners, of master practitioners. When they hear, they think about it, meditate upon it, and it should have been passed through an unbroken lineage. And a good news that I have to you that this the teaching that we have here is exactly corresponds perfectly to all these qualities. It was initially taught by an unmistaken being, somebody who is omniscient. And I think we should talk here what omniscient means, because when I heard it for the first time, I remember I was thinking, wow, a guy knows exactly how many atoms there are in the wall, you know, or like I was a medical doctor. I didn't go into physics and mathematics deep because I decided to do natural sciences more. But I remember I was amazed by all these formulas, you know, of highest mathematics and algebra. And I was thinking, wow, probably they know all this crazy, difficult to understand stuff, you know, all these formulas. But basically, it is even better, because once a person becomes omniscient, becomes an enlightened being, and you know what it means they have Rupakaya and Dharmakaya, right? Two parts of the body of the Buddha. The one that is related to ultimate self-nature and omniscience, and the one that is physical. So as soon as somebody, the moment somebody becomes this enlightened being, they do not live in one time point anymore. They have direct access to any point of the future, present, and past, all three times, they say in ancient texts. So basically, they live in every single moment, and they perceive at the same moment, just imagine it, every existing thing. They perceive every existing thing in every single moment of all three times, past, present, and future, which for them probably there is no such a division, right? So it's a long debate why it is possible, and the short answer is because time is also coming from my seeds in my mind. So these extraordinary beings, they could see this moment, I don't know, 1,000 years ago. They have no problem to design, to shape, to tailor for you the information that you receive. So basically what you are getting is perfect for you. And maybe it is weird now, but you will see later that it is really the case. So I was thinking, oh, it's just a smart person, you know, they have the sense of future. No, they don't have a sense of future. They know every single object in the universe in all three times. And I mean, all the space in all three times. Can you imagine it, right? It is, it's not bad. It means that they probably really know what do I need to get to the same point they've got. And maybe the teachings that I receive are specifically designed for me, for you. So this is about the characteristic of the teachings. And I actually loved McMichael for this class, translated some verses by Milarepa. I remember I was impressed by the life of Milarepa. He was one of the most famous persons in among Tibetan teachers, Tibetan masters, and he's famous for several things. First thing, he was famous for his great poetry, really great, so beautiful. Second, he was famous that he reached enlightenment within one lifetime. Then, even more interesting, he came to these teachings because he was practicing something like black magic or something like that time, and he killed a lot of people with this bad practice. Something that is also interesting, he realized that it was not right what he was doing, and he decided to find somebody who can teach him the real teaching. He found him, and his teacher was torturing him for 12 years because he would not teach him any teachings. He would say, oh, you should plant this field, you know, like you should take care of my field now. Now you should build a house for me. Then he would come and destroy his house. When you read it, you have an impression that he was just torturing the poor guy. And of course, then he taught him, and the reason why he was doing it to him, because he tried to, you know, to get his old bad seeds ripen faster, and to clear the way for him from his obstacles that he has done to himself because of his stupidity before. And then, of course, he taught him. I think the most interesting thing is that Milarepa, who is a famous meditator, he started to meditate after 50. So if you have any doubts, are you capable of meditating or not, then probably this story should inspire you. Because 50, I should mention, that time would be probably same like 80 now, because people would not most often live up to 50. The average lifespan was around 40. So Milarepa, he was, as I told you, famous also for his poetry, also for some extraordinary he developed these extraordinary realizations, and he was able to do miracles. But I will not be talking here. You can find out yourselves if you will want what he was doing, because I try to be scientific, you know, which is very difficult right now, because you have to spend some time here to get your own understanding and realizations. So Milarepa was a famous poet, and his poetry was very distinctive from anything else in Tibet, because in Tibetan they would do something like we do in other languages, like da 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 da. And his poetry was like, I don't know, there is a Russian poet, Mayakovsky. I could think of the closest, like ta-dam, ta-da-da-da-dam, ta-dam, ta-da-da-da-dam. And so Milarepa wrote, I tried to translate it like, the sense, if you do not meditate based on real teachings and real lineage, the place, you can die in the caves of Himalayas and you will find nothing. So that was his impression. So nobody should be, I mean, I don't know about you. I was looking for teachers. I didn't know I was looking for them. I was reading all the books in my childhood. I had this impression that something that I want to know should be written somewhere, you know, I would read everything, you know. So, but I should not be like a hungry dog, you know, taking anything that is given. I should assess it. If this is taught by somebody extraordinary, was it corrected, like purified from mistakes? And are there any other people who are benefiting from these teachings? Okay, one more story and then we will get to the second question. Fortunately, there are only two. When I met McMichael, I had a very strong impression from this man. I was like, wow, he's an extraordinary being. I can see it, I can feel it. I should check him. And I went to Arizona. I pretended I wanted to study how to be a DCI teacher. I went to SCIM, Sedona College of International Management, where McMichael is teaching students to be DCI teachers. But basically, why I came, I wanted to see how he behaves in his like normal environment, and to see if there are other students by McMichael who like, is it just random that he is a great being, or is it something, you know, like that can be reproduced, you know, is the method reproducible? So if yes, then I can use it, right? And I met his closest students, and I was convinced. I was thinking, okay, then I want to be like these people. I want to be like them. I met his personal assistant. I met the great teachers that we have. I met my husband. He's also his old student. I met Bill, and he is extraordinary. Every day I'm grateful that I met him, and he's my husband every single day. So, so yeah, you should also check your teachers and the teachings. And you will get one more. I don't want to go into details, but you will get one more test how to check the teachings later. I think I can touch briefly here, but even extraordinary beings, sometimes they can technically say something that is not correct. Example, imagine you are talking about these teachings with a person who is of the same mental capacities as you. Probably you will say just what you think, right? Then imagine you are explaining what you are studying here to a person of 80 years old. Imagine you should explain what you study here to a 5 years old person. Imagine you should explain what you study here to somebody who is of great capacities, mental, but from some religious path, like really in their religion. You see, you probably will use different words, and you will not be lying. You will be just trying to adapt the information in order to make it more accessible for a person, right? So there are 3 more tests, like they compare it to the gold, like you melt it, cut it, and rub it, right? And it means like you check if it corresponds to your to what you experience. You check if it is logical if you do not experience it directly, and you check if this is something that an authoritative figure for you, like for example, Jetson Kappa, if he becomes an authoritative figure for you. If Jetson Kappa also says the same thing, for example, right? Or like somebody else. So your own experience, your own logic, and a person who you trust. Why we trust to the enlightened being, I think we will go in details during next classes, but basically because for me, I don't know how about you, it was the very first time when I have heard somebody describing this life, and especially the pain of this life, in so much details. Like you heard already, to Piaganacci, remember? To be born, age, get sick, and die. And there will be more about this truth of suffering, it is called. So it was for the first time where I met this explanation and description in great details. Like nobody told me before that, you know, anything you do here is a suffering. Like what? Why it's suffering? But then it explains why. Either you experience pain, either anything you have, anything good you have, will end, and you will get hurt because you lose something you love, or anything else can happen any moment. Like any pain can happen any moment if you are a human being here on this planet. Okay, so yeah, next question. I have a slide of the next question. So now there are also 3 requirements, you will not believe it, to a good student. Again, because we had already, but we had, remember, 3 problems of a pot in the first class. And now we have 3 qualities of a good student. And they are very important. They are totally different from 3 problems of a pot, I think. One, I think, of them is similar. So first is Surne, who can really study these things. And I have seen, I am here for almost 10 years studying these things. This is the best teaching I ever had. I was studying all my lifetime. I did my medical school. I did my PhD when I was 27. I did additionally 10 years of studying in different psychotherapy approaches. Believe me, I was studying a lot. And this teachings, for me, is the first instance I can really tell you I study something valuable, study something that can really help me. So who can really study? First, a student should be surne. And sur is a Tibetan word for preconception or bias. There is another word. So should be free of all the preconceptions. It means have open mind. And very important that open mind here does not mean that you just accept everything I say. If you trust me or Bill, just based on what we say, we do not trust you. So you should be open-minded But it doesn't mean accept everything. It means sounds interesting, I should check it. And then you really check it. And if you cannot check it right now, then you think, okay, I will put it on the shelf. I will mark it not checked, to be checked later. And then you wait until you will get enough knowledge, or you will get into an appropriate situation, to really check it out. So open-minded. Second is they should be smart, but not only intelligent. They should be intelligent spiritually. Lon den, and den is like the support word, like having something, or like having such a quality. And lon is intelligence, like if you have heard the word lobsang, law is mind in this word. So lon then means have in mind, or something like that. So, and here it means really spiritual intelligence. I don't know if you know people, I know several people around me who are very smart, crazy intelligent, but not spiritually. Interesting enough, when you see students, like even in these teachings, like basically there are two categories of smart people. Category number one, they do all the homeworks like with excellence, like they get all hundreds everywhere, but they're not kind. They want to get attention, and they do not really practice these teachings in their life. And usually they do not stick with us for a long time. And the other category, maybe they don't get 100, maybe they get like less points for their homeworks, but you can see that they're really kind, and you can measure yourselves actually for this spiritual intelligence. How you can know? If you sense that you want to help other people. If when we talk about emptiness and meditations on emptiness, about, I mean, this is just ACI 1, but I think you could already have this taste. Are you really interested in the subject? So people with high spiritual IQ, they would get excited, when somebody talks about direct perception of emptiness, about 3-year retreat or something like that, okay, maybe 3-year retreat, not yet, but I remember I heard for the first time just the phrase 3-year retreat, and I was like, wow, this is something I want, And it was weird because nobody ever told me anything good or bad about this thing. And also, if you start to cry, sometimes maybe like people are talking about their teachers. I don't know. I cry every time McMichael is talking about Ken Rinpoche. he cries and I cry. And you may notice that you will cry in some meditations. Don't think it's a bad sign and something is wrong with you. It's not wrong. You are absolutely correct. Moreover, it may be a sign of your high spiritual IQ. So basically, a kind person interested in everything that is related to emptiness and really emotionally reacting to these teachings, these these things. Okay, the third quality. Okay, the time will come. These teachings will not be only flowers and champagne, or I don't know, flowers and candies. If you will go out in the street where you live, or in your closest grocery store, and you will ask people, do you know 3 qualities of a student to study, with teachings? Probably people will not know it. Guess why? Or if you will say, oh, by the way, what was the last work of Arya Nagarjuna? Or like, do you remember why this famous debate between Master Voshan and Kamala Shila, why Master Voshan lost it? Probably people will think that you are crazy, and you are, in a good way, because it takes efforts to swim against the flow. And basically, what you will do here, if you will follow this path, you will swim a lot against the flow, against the flow of this river, called life. Because you will have to face and fight your natural reactions, like responding with anger to an angry person, like responding with criticism to a person who criticizes you. I don't have much background in Christianity, but I have some. And I remember when I was like 11 or 12, I decided to read I was interested in what Jesus said. I was not interested in the interpretations. I wanted to read his words, like what he really was saying. And then I remember I came to the point like, if somebody stroke you, then give another cheek. I was like, wow, this guy's crazy. It's already painful once, so he wants me to have this pain for the second time. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But now it does, because if this is true, that everything I experience in my life comes from the seeds in my mind that I planted when I was speaking, thinking, and acting before, then the seed should be exhausted, right? In a way, it's a smart thing to give the second cheek. But don't worry, you don't have to do it right now. And it will not be all suffering. Because you will work on your mental seeds, your life will become better and better, actually. There will be a difficult moment. There will be moments then where you will think that, okay, it would be better just to flow like other people, just do what other people do. But if you are a right student in these teachings, you will have this high spiritual aspirations. You will think, yeah, okay, I get it. I need to work hard to reach it, and I'm ready. And this is called in Tibetan Dunyerva. I was thinking, probably some of you know that we are running some other courses with Bill, where we want to help people to reach their, material goals, not enlightenment goals. It is related, of course, but we run some courses where people they reach their tangible goals. And we were analyzing why there is a very distinctive category of people who are successful and the category of people who are not successful. And I think this is because of this bullet point, because people are ready to work hard. They know there will be some challenges. They even plan what they will do when they will get to these challenges. And even more important, they have this big goal, you know, like they think big, big vision. I mean, yeah, okay, I can get 1 million or I can get a spiritual partner, right? The ideal partner. But what about thinking bigger? We just came back from Diamond Mountain, and I do not remember, probably in Sedona, in some places, I could see stars that would be that bright, but Diamond Mountain is a very special place. It's a place where my husband did his 3-year retreat. And I was thinking, like, every single star, for me, like, mostly the sky that I see, okay, many stars, little stars, you know, dark place, many stars, little stars. This is how I perceive it, right? But they say, astronomers, they say in the darkest point of the sky, there are billions of stars and worlds, you know, behind it. So, and yeah, they say Nam Kapam in Tibetan, jump across the sky. It means think big. Maybe you can help this whole planet with you studying these things. You don't have to become a Buddhist because this is not about Buddhism. It came through this lineage. It was saved in Tibet when Indian monasteries were destroyed in somewhere around 10th century. And all the books were lost. Like there was a great collection, like I don't remember how many, I think something about 300,000 teachings by the Buddha, something like that. And guess how many left, like his original sutras and tantras, because sutra is an open teaching, tantra is a secret teaching. Only 1108. 1108. And I actually, if you want to know why this exact number, because it was the number of scriptures one elephant could get on his back. So probably one elephant with the scriptures escaped from the monastery when it was ruined in the 10th or 11th century. So this is how much left. And even these scriptures are enough to get everything you ever dreamed of. So think big, like maybe you can help not only this planet, maybe you will be able to help much more living beings that are behind all these stars and all these dark spots in the sky. One of the reasons why we think with Bill that people do not reach sometimes their goals is because they do not think they can really get it. They have low self-worth, you know, low self-value. But you really can, and you really will, because every single being will become an enlightened being once. It is unavoidable. The question is how long do you want to suffer? Basically, this is the question. Okay. Let me see if I missed anything. Okay, something that also I wanted to tell you. Yeah, I told you that about 1100 teachings left from Buddha, and you probably should know that there are several types of teachings. And one type is called Kangyur, and Kangyur is the speech of the Buddha. Basically, sutras and open teachings, and tantras, secret teachings by him. Then we have Tengyur. Tengyur is for commentaries, is a word for commentaries. And Tengyur consists of Indian commentaries early and later Tibetan commentaries. What else? We have Sungbum, original Tibetan texts. And also McMichael, he was mentioning about Vinaya as a separate class because this is related to ethics, ethics based on vows, or also called vowed morality. There was a question, I remember. I think it is important because some of you might already meet other Buddhist teachings or teachers. And people, they often ask like, oh, I just went to this teaching and I got some kind of initiation, and what was it? And does it work for me or not? Without Lam Tso Nam Sum in your mind, without these three principal paths, the initiation will stay a ritual and will not do much for you. So this is something that is important to know. Okay, so stay with us. In 45 minutes, we will have, in 45? No, in 1 hour, 45 minutes, we will have another class, class 5, and this is it for class 4. Close your eyes for a moment. And I'm trying to replace prayers, you know, I'm doing something innovative. Close your eyes for a moment and think about the teaching you are getting, and have a wish that this teaching would help yourself and every living being, that somehow this teaching would work for both you and every living being, that you would be able to really apply it. Open your eyes. We have a big team of volunteers. If you want to become one, you're welcome. You will get an invitation somewhere, probably now in the chat, I guess. Because we can translate and spread this teaching only because of you, because of volunteers and participants. Otherwise, we would be teaching with Bill each other. Okay. Thank you very much. See you in a bit.